Salam sejahtera, Doctor. My name is Ying Tong, and this is my reflection video for the course Eppa A201944 Financial Statement Analysis. In this video, I will share my thoughts on a real-world creative accounting case, one that had a major impact in Malaysia. Then, I will reflect on my learning journey in this course, the key concepts I've picked up, the challenges I faced, and how this course changed the way I view accounting and decision-making. To begin with, I choose the case of Transmile Group Berhad, a well-known Malaysian logistic company. Back in 2007, it became involved in one of Malaysia's biggest accounting scandals. Between 2004 and 2006, the company reported fake sales, which revenue that did not actually exist, that just to make its profits look stronger. These false reports gave the illusion that the business was doing well, when in reality, it was already in financial trouble. The truth came out when a special audit was carried out. It revealed that the company's profit figures were overstated by hundreds of millions of ringgit. As expected, investor confidence collapsed almost overnight. The share price dropped sharply and legal action was taken against several senior executives. Honestly, I found this case quite disturbing. It made me realize how dangerous financial manipulation can be, not just to investors, but also to employees, creditors, and even the broader market. From an ethical point of view, this case is a clear example of what happens when transparency and integrity break down. If we apply the fraud triangle framework, we can see all these three elements. Firstly, pressure to meet unrealistic profit targets. Second, opportunity due to weak internal control. And rationalization, which is the belief that everyone is doing it or we will fix it later. Together, this created a situation where unethical decisions were made with serious consequences. Through this case, I realized that accounting isn't just about numbers. It's about truth, trust, and responsibility. Values that must never be ignored. Cases like Transmile raise an important question. How do we protect stakeholders like investors, employees, and the public from this kind of harm? Well, it takes more than just rules. It requires a culture of accountability. For example, companies should strengthen internal control and ensure regular audits by independent professionals. At the same time, regulators like Bursa Malaysia must enforce the rules firmly and fairly. Besides that, whistleblower protection is also critical. Employees need to feel safe when reporting wrongdoing. And finally, investor education is key. When investors can read financial statements and understand basic ratios, they are much harder to mislead. In short, protecting the public is a shared responsibility, one that includes regulators, auditors, businesses, and even us as future professionals. Now, looking back at this course, I can confidently say it has been one of the most eye-opening subjects I've taken. To start with, I have learned how to use tools like ratio analysis to assess whether a company is doing well. For instance, I now understand how to evaluate liquidity using the current ratio or profitability through net profit margins and ROE. I've learned to spot warning signs in debt to equity ratio and check efficiency using asset turnover. One of the models that really stood out to me was the Altman Z score. It amazed me how just 5 ratios could be combined to predict the likelihood of bankruptcy. This model is not just useful in theory, it is something that I could apply if I were analyzing listed companies in real life. Besides that, the course also explained the limitation of financial statements, which is something I had never thought about before. For example, financial reports are often based on historical costs and may ignore intangible assets like brand value or customer loyalty. So now, I always remind myself that the numbers in a report only tell part of the story. Of course, the journey wasn't without challenges. I had a hard time at first understanding the statement of cash flows, especially when it came to separating operating, investing, and financial activities. But After rewatching tutorials, practicing past questions, and discussing with my friends, I was able to connect the dots and finally see the bigger picture. I also struggle to understand creative accounting techniques sometimes because some of them are still legal even though they feel wrong. This made me realize the importance of applying ethical judgment, not just technical skills. What is most valuable to me is how practical this course is. Whether I become an investor, an accountant, or even run my own business, the knowledge I have gained here will help me make better decisions. I have learned that a profitable company isn't always a healthy one. I now know how to ask deeper questions and not just take financial statement at face value. Most importantly, this course changed how I view accounting as a whole. Before, I thought accounting was just about balancing numbers. Now I see it as a language, a way to tell the story of a business. And like any story, it should be told honestly, clearly, and with integrity. In conclusion, EPPA 2923 has not only strengthened my technical skills, it has also helped me grow in awareness, judgment, and responsibility. I believe the lessons from this course will stay with me, guiding both my professional path and personal financial decisions. Thank you for watching my reflection video, and I hope it inspires you to look at accounting not just a subject, but as a tool for truth, impact, and positive change. Thank you.